interview so today we will be having with us our senior most devotee of the Sangha, who is His Grace Prahlada Prabhu. And so before moving on to the interview, I would like to give a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Prahlada Prabhu is disciple of His Holiness Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And Prabhuji got initiated in 1984 at ISKCON Nairobi Temple. And Prabhuji has graduated as physician from Baroda Medical College, MS University in 1977. And Prabhuji has practiced tropical medicine at Nairobi, Kenya till 1995. And Prabhuji has migrated to USA in 1995 and preaching in Las Vegas since 1997 with Srila Prabhupada's book distribution mission as our prime service. And Prabhuji also gives classes on Bhakti Sanga, and Prabhuji is very good in quoting shlokas during his classes, and we all are very fortunate to have Prabhuji's association. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I really thank you for giving us your association for this Bhakti Sanga newsletter interview. Thank you, Prabhuji. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So yes, so Prabhu, in your introduction, it's given this that you were in Nairobi and practicing as physician, right? Can you explain about your upcoming in Krishna consciousness and at the same time doing your physician?
Yes. I was a fortunate soul because I took birth from my mother. Read Srimad Bhagavatam in Gujarati, whatever little she knew. She recited it when I was in her womb, and this she disclosed to my Guru Maharaj when I was I didn't know about that. She said at that time to my Guru Maharaj. Anyway, so that's how my story started, and fortunately I was also born near Sri Dham Dwarkapuri in Saurashtra in Gujarat. Although my mother belonged to Dakor Dham, that's where she was born. And my maternal uncle, and we all grew up in that dham also, our life like that. So from the start, as I say, Lord Krishna has been merciful to me that, I was getting association like that. My father also was a Vaishnava, and the first house he bought, he put the house name as Sri Krishna Kutir.
Oh.
That was in Baroda city like that. So what I'm saying is that, maybe because of my previous life, Sukrutis or whatever, Bhagavan Krishna has blessed me with this association. But despite all these things, as happens with conditioned souls, I got into this company of medical school. And as I always say, that, when I went to med school, I came out as a madman. It's because this medical education or modern education, Sri Prabhupada quotes is a slaughterhouse. This is what I read, right? That modern education is a slaughterhouse because it kills all the spiritual curiosity, spiritual inquest and all this. It's kind of suppressed. I tell you my own experience. When I went to med school, first lecture by Professor Saxena in physiology, the first thing they explain is that there is nothing supernatural about this body, right? There is no spiritual thing. It's only everything can be explained on basis of chemistry, physics, mathematics, like that. So, I was kind of surprised at that, why we... And I went to the professor after the class and I said, sir, how come this is, we all know that there is spirit soul in the body. And he told me, forget about those things. You have to study this way, pass your exams, and that's how you should do it. Whatever you have, you keep your own opinion like that. So that kind of things, gradually over the 7 years, I passed medical school and all that. I'd forgotten about spirituality, Bhagavad Gita. My father had bought me Bhaja Govindam when I was on standard 7, right? Bhaja Govindam booklet by Raj Gopalacharya's commentary. And I used to, I still remember so many slokas of that. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Marane Nahi Nahi Raksati Dukungrana. Mood Jahi Janadam Krishna, Kurumas Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrushna, Yallabhise nij karmopatam vittam ten vinode chittam. All this I studied when I was in standard 7 at the age of 13. So my father was also contributing to my Krishna consciousness. But my real father, Sri Prabhupada, I met him through his book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And fortunately, yesterday I was at the lab for my blood test. I gave out that book to one woman, an American woman. She had also come for blood test. So this is my real interest. Wherever I go, doesn't matter where, I carry one book, Prabhupada book in my pocket, all right? And if I made some contact anywhere, give out the book, all right? This is what I think will please Sri Prabhupada so much. And Bhagavan Krishna has also said, Ya idam guhyam param mad bhakti sodhasyati nacha tasman manusya se kaschin me kriya kuttama. So if you and me want to become dear to Lord Sri Krishna, spread his word. And the best way to spread is to distribute Sri Prabhupada books that not only satisfy Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Prabhupada, but also Bhagavan Krishna. Yasya prasadat bhavat prasad, yasya prasadan gati kutabhi. So all these things are there. And fortunately, as I said, I came in contact with Sri Prabhupada's books. That was in 1981. All right. From there, I decided this man talks so much sense to me. All right. Otherwise, I was not good man, let me tell you that. I was under Rajo Gun, Tamo Gun so much. All right. Don't want to disclose my. But all these things happened to me, Prabhupada Maharaj has delivered so many ajamis like myself, all right? Because he is such a pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. Whomsoever gets little influence by Sri Prabhupada is the most fortunate soul. Brahmand Brahmita Kon Bhagyavanji. And then when he will touch in Bhagavan Prabhupada Maharaj, a book, he'll get out. All right? There is no doubt about it. All of us who have followed Sri Prabhupada, they're guaranteed visas into Golok Vrindavan. So this is why my story is, Mata. Thank you very much for allowing this speech.
Hare Krishna. So inspiring, Prabhu. So you were saying that you have brought into this moment from your childhood, which means the inspiration was Bhaja Govindam, the first gifted Bhaja Govindam, right?
Yes.
Which was gifted by your father.
Yes.
And yeah, so from you came in contact with Prabhupada's books. So, but where exactly you came in contact with Prabhupada's books? Was it in India or in Nairobi?
Okay, what happened was I passed my exams in 1977 Baroda Medical School, and I was doing a residency in anesthesiology. But my elder brother, he was in Nairobi. He married a Patel girl from Nairobi, so he migrated there. So he said, there's a big prospect here for doctors. Don't waste time there. Come here. I was not married that time. Okay, so I said, okay, no problem, as you say, because after my father had passed away, my elder brother was like my father to me. He was so good a person. So he had disciplined me, trained in all that. He called me. Then I resigned from my post in anesthesiology, went to Africa, and I had to do internship and do residency. I did residency in obstetrics gynecology. And at that time, they were allowing me to train for 1 or 2 years and then allow you to practice gynecology like that. So I practiced up to 95 in Africa. And then since I had got married, my in-laws my mother-in-law was here in America. So they had filed petition for us. And so I migrated in 1995, moved to Las Vegas in 97. And from there, we started doing more of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Sri Prabhupada's the preaching and all that. That's how we started here in US like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in during your stay in Nairobi, you had temples there in Nairobi, Prabhu?
Yes.
You had temples or?
There was this one small temple in this area known as Sangara area in downtown Nairobi. And that was a temple which was not yet built. So my brother, who was elder brother, was also at that time working as an architect in the city council of Nairobi. So somehow we got involved, and he's the one who designed the current temple in Nairobi. And he designed the whole temple and got it approved by city council and all that. And that's how that temple is. Such a beautiful temple, you know. If you go visit, you should visit Africa in Nairobi, like that is a beautiful temple. Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was in charge at that time, and he used to visit from Delhi to Nairobi at least once or twice in a year, like that. So that's how it started there. Now it has a big congregation, a big congregation.
Wonderful, Prabhu, wonderful. And yeah, before that, I just wanted to say, you said that you were coming from Saurashtra region of Gujarat?
Yes, that's where I was born,
Okay.
but my hometown
Uh-huh.
was away from there. But my father was a government IAS officer, so he has to have
Mm.
transfers like that. So at that time, in 1953 September, I was born there near Dwarika. There's a place known as Surendra Nagar, and there's a small town there known as Lakhtar. That's where I was born. But what I'm saying is that Lord Krishna has kept me near him from all that time, like that. So that's
Okay. So
yes.
I just asked because I just wanted to share that we are also means like our ancestors are also from that region of Saurashtra only from
Oh,
Gujarat.
really? Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So but it's been long time since I've
That's
been
right.
there. So my childhood everything is in Tamil Nadu only.
Oh,
So
I
in
see.
India. So yeah. So thanks for sharing that, Prabhu.
That,
So yeah. So yeah, after you migrated to USA.
yes.
How was your sadhana going on? Did you come in contact with devotees as
Okay.
soon as you
So,
came to USA?
right, those who are also in USA, they know that when you come from outside to the United States, first 2 3 years, have a very big struggle because all your education outside is not considered unless it's certified here. That's number one. Number two, you have financial also this thing, you cannot get apartment, you have to stay with some people until you get employment, then you become qualified to have an apartment like that. So first 2 years, I was in New Jersey at my in-laws house and all that. And this was fortunately very near to Tobacco Temple in New Jersey. It was about few miles only. All right. So I got so frustrated in my first year. I actually bought visas to go back. All right. Re-entry visa, they call it. All right. So I got re-entry visa for myself, my wife, and my two sons. And they said, okay, let's go back. I keep Africa back. I'll come later. First of all, I could not get into the residency programs. Right? I had the certificate, I had passed the exams and everything, but they say, your score is low, so you cannot get into. So it's frustrating. And I said, this is not play. Another thing is cold. I stayed in Africa 20 years. I never knew what is cold, and here it is snowing. So I said, this is so bad. So I bought visas and I was going back. I had property in Africa and everything. I had sold it out before coming here. So I said, now what to do to go back and like that. So I was thinking like that. Then one day I decided, no, why waste time here? And it was about 6 months or 8 months like that. And then I told my wife that, let's go back. Then she said, no. She didn't like Africa because her mother was here and her whole family was here like that. So she said, no, we should not go like, and she started crying. The woman's greatest weapon is tears. Then I said, okay, we'll wait for some time, this, that. Otherwise, you guys stay here. I go back and come back later like that. I told like that. So I was kind of frustrated like that. Meanwhile, this Merck and Company in the US, the medical company, they were looking for someone, a medical person with research department. Then I said, let me apply at least there. So I got into that. They gave me a very good salary and relaxed job. I was 45 that times. So then I was hearing Bhagavatam and working. Working and Bhagavatam. From what? 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. 4 days a week. That's what I was working with them. And they allowed you to whatever.
Prabhu, can you come again? How you're saying 4 a.m. to 6 p.m.?
6 p.m., 14 hours a day, and 4 days a week,
Oh,
3 days off. right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how I was working. And I was hearing Amal Bhakta Das Prabhuji, you know him, right?
Hmm.
He has read,
Hmm.
narrated whole Srimad Bhagavatam, word to word translation of Sri Prabhupada with background music and everything. Recently,
Oh.
last month, I met him at Los Angeles temple. He was sitting
Oh.
there. I said, Prabhuji, I have heard your Bhagavatam so many times. So that's how I got so fortunate. All this is Bhagavan Krishna's mercy and Lord Bhakti Prabhupada Maharaj's mercy that you get such kind of opportunity in your life to be in touch with Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and devotees like that. So that's how I could work like that. So all these years I've been hearing Bhagavatam. I heard so many times all this Bhagavatam by Amal Bhaktadas Prabhu. Then also I came to touch with Gaur Krishna Das Prabhu. You heard of him? He's disciple of Radha Govinda Das Swami. He has narrated whole Bhagavatam in Hindi, right, with Sanskrit slokas. And I also, even today, I hear him. His one lecture, if you hear, he goes canto wise. 335 chapters. He's selecting key slokas from each chapter, okay, and telling you Sanskrit and in Hindi like that. So these two are the great sources of what I learned, including Sripada Radha Govinda Swami. Radha Govinda Swami, I came in touch with him in person in Nairobi. All right, he was giving a Bhagavatam Katha, and I used to go and sit in front with my Bhagavatam book. There was nobody who was coming with Bhagavatam book. So he noticed me that you're bringing Bhagavatam here also. He says, yeah, Maharaj, I want to study this, that. Then he was pleased with me. I said, Maharaj, come for prasad. So I took him prasad for at my home like that. So he came like that once. Then again he came to my house in New Jersey. So like that, 2 times I met. Third time also I met him in Vrindavan, personal event like that. So, this is the love of Matra Sadhu Sang. This is what we all need. And I encourage everyone, I tell everyone, go Vrindavan, go and see him. All right? If you put his hand on your head, made apart like that. So that's how it is. If we sincerely pray that, oh Prabhupada Maharaj, hey, please have mercy on me. Rather, it takes this very swiftly. Hmm? And what about your habits about drinking alcohol, eating eggs, and all this? If you are doing this, and Bhuvan Krishna says, Piche suduracharo bhajate mamananyavad. Sadhu rev samandhe. Sipram bhavati dharma. He will forget about this. I used to addicted to dungri lesson, this onion garlic. But it disappeared. I have not touched it for so many years. Like that. So that's how purification occurs. Adao Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangata Bhajan Kriya Anartha Nivritti Sa. So all these things happen step. There is nothing unreasonable about Bhakti Yoga. Everything is mathematical. And especially if you read Prabhupada's books and hear his lectures, he makes it completely mathematical. Right? This, everything like that. So I encourage everyone to read Sri Prabhupada's books and especially his biography. If you read Prabhupada's biography, you cannot stop it tears. Right? I read it 3 times verbatim. Right? And I made my son to read it and record it. So we have done that like that. So this is how it is. If you Prabhupada says sincerity is the word, right? Not that for the sake of doing it. No, do it for a real interest and with sincerity. You and me, we invest money. We invest money like that. Oh, no, you do research and put money in a proper place so that you don't lose it. So similarly, I tell my sons, there is something known as 401k here in US. 401k is a pension plan, all right? When you work, let's say you put $100 from your salary. The company is supposed to put another $10, $20 for you because you are saving. That's free money. So this is also 401k because Bhuvan Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tasya. Right? So if you put 10%, he'll also put 10% like that. So that's why this is very mathematical. I tell you, anyone, and I think it's the experience of all genuine devotees. that Bhagavan Krishna has so much reciprocated in their life. You know? Otherwise, I had no time to think about this, and he put me in such a place where I can hear his Bhagavatam all throughout.
Very, very wonderful. So it's actually very inspiring, Prabhu, to hear from you all your realizations and your journey in Krishna consciousness. It's really very inspiring for us. So so when you were doing as a physician, how you were able to balance your sadhana and your work?
You know, when I was working like that, uh, I made a rule myself, all right, that I have to schedule my life, and I don't see more patients, all right, so that it will disturb my reading and other thing. I used to do only 12 patients a day on average. Sometimes they are more, sometimes less, but on average like that. That gave me ample time for my sadhana also. I didn't care for money, but I used to make one rule, and I tell all my friends here, and including my sons, that you keep on donating every month, whatever little money you can feel comfortable with, donate it to Sri Prabhupada mission. Right? Donate it. And you know how I started that? I was on Africa and in the suburb of Nairobi. One day I read a city bus advertisement, chant be unhappy. In Africa, how come chant be happy? Then Hare Krishna mantra was written like that. Then I found out that there is a temple in Nairobi. I was just about a year in Nairobi like that time. So there was newspaper advertisement that please donate some money, we'll send you a bead bag and some book. So I sent some money and they sent me bead bag and a book called Perfection of Yoga. I read that book, right? And I said, this is a real good book. Started chanting 4 rounds from there. This was in 1981, April. And from there, in 1984, as I progressed reading, found Guru Maharaj and then got initiated like that. But you have to make a schedule. Even today, when I am retired, I have a schedule. Wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I have to attend this Bhakti Sanga group at 4:20 a.m. Then and then 5:30 I give a class to my friends here, right? Up to 6:30. And 6:30 I am now attending Bhagavatam Sandarbha classes going by Mahavidyalaya. And 6 Sandarbhas by Rishikesh Prabhuji. So that's what I keep busy with this scheduling. Prabhupada always writes, mold your life in such a way that you don't forget Bhagavan Krishna. Prabhupada might have like that. So if you try to do this, believe or not, all right, he is arranging so many things for you. You may not realize, we don't realize this, but that's what is really happening. Everyone's life that happens if they do it like that way. Very good. So that's how I did it.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So I just liked when you said that do everything perfectly, then Krishna will obviously he will send his blessings. So he is always watching us. So very, very wonderful quote, Prabhuji. So this is a takeaway for me maybe today. So yeah, so how like you read the scriptures, right? So like Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita. We have so many scriptures.
Right.
So of all the scriptures, which one you like the most? And so which one you like the most, and why you got inspired of that?
Right. See, the first books one should read, especially if somebody is neophyte, read small books of Prabhupada. Small books. All right. If you give me this big Bhagavatam to start to read that, you'll read 2-3 pages and they say, this is not for me. But if you read Easy Journey to Other Planets, this one book which I read first. Number 2 is Perfection of Yoga. Number 3, Perfect Question, Perfect Answer. All right. Any of these 3 books, if you give out to someone, he will read it. Why it's read? Because the dialogues are there. All right. Those dialogues incite some people to say, there's my question also there, like that. So this, and there's another book called Science of Self-Realization. That's a little bit big paper book. But But these other small ones, like 50, 60 pages, 100 pages like that. Those ones I give out to so many people. So that's the first thing any newcomer should read it. All right, number one. Number two, those books will make you interested to go to read Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is the second book. And the third book is, of course, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you read Bhagavatam 3-4 times like that, then you qualify for reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, like that. Because these books are compilation of all these key slokas, diamond slokas in one treatise by great writers like Vrindavan Das Thakur and Krishna Das Kaviraj Prabhu. So this is how one should go, like that, slowly. But first, read a small book, especially this perfect question, perfect answer. They're excellent treatise like that. So that's how one should go.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So first of all, we have to start with the small book, right?
Small books,
So
yes. Small books.
that's how myself also started. I think I was just taking like that,
Okay.
and thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. So and out of this, how did you hear about Bhakti Sanga? How you came in contact with Bhakti Sanga devotees?
I don't know how I came actually in that, and I joined it when it was around 10 to 15.
Krishna pulled you, Prabhu.
That's what it is. And the first time I heard that, I decided there and there that now henceforth till the last day of my life, I want to hear these lectures. Because you know what? The Bhakti Sangha brings such erudite scholars, which you have no time, no access to meet or ask questions. Gaurang Darshan Das Prabhuji was there on the other day there. Now, what chance do I have to go and see and talk to him personally? No chance. But I could ask him on Zoom like that. Right. So, and their realizations, those realizations are not written anywhere in the book. Right? I have this book by him which says Studying and Teaching Scriptures. This is the book he has written, Gaurang Das Prabhuji. Right? And he's given his all this information in that. But the thing is, the real interpersonal communication is very important. I was in Dallas in July, May, this last few months. The Sadhu Sangh retreat was there in Dallas, Fresco, Texas here. So I was there for 4 days. I met Indradyumna Prabhu. So Indradyumna Swami there, Radhanath Swami was there. So I personally talked to Indradyumna Prabhuji because when you buy his book, he was going to sign it for you. So I met him and I told him, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra. So I will come to do Sadhu Sangha with you. So it is good. Then Vaisasik Prabhu was there. Vaisasik Prabhu is in Silicon Valley here, California. He is a great book distributor. He has written books with our basis. Our Gaudiya Brahma Sampradaya starts with Brahmaji. And Brahmaji, all his 4 hands, there is one book in his hand. That's Vedas. So this is how he says books are our business, starting from Brahmaji. So distribute books. Right? This is the slogan of my life. What is that? Distribute book. And Prabhupada gave such an authentic lecture. That lecture is known as Distribute My Books, Distribute My Books, Distribute My Books. So easiest way to please Sri Prabhupada is to buy some books. All right. Krishna.com, everywhere you can get small books. They don't cost much money. Buy that 5, 10, and instead of giving some useless gifts on Christmas or other thing, give these books. That will change somebody's life for good, like that. So that's what I do. I have an account with BBT ISKCON here in Los Angeles. They don't give it to any individual. But in 1997, that's where I went there and told them that we don't have temple here in Las Vegas. So can you give me some, membership like that as a temple? And they say, okay, if there's no temple, we'll authorize you. So they're giving me the discount price, temple price. And we all get money, contribute, and distribute it free of charge to people, like that. So this is how Bhagavan Krishna works in your life, with Prabhupada's mercy.
Wonderful.
Only thing is sincerity.
Sincere.
Right?
Very, very wonderful, Prabhu. Very, very nice to hear. So, yes, I could see that your journey has started from reading and distributing books. So, and that's continuing till now also. And uh, while distributing books, you must be coming around many other people, right? So, maybe devotees and not devotees also. What is your opinion about that, Prabhu?
See, meeting some strangers, and especially Christians and other faith people, you don't make any impression that you're trying to proselytize. You don't want to change them. All right? Yesterday, I gave the book to this woman when I was in the lab. I told her, this is about Indian culture. All right? So they are very keen to know about Indian culture and all that. So they will not understand that, this is religiosity or this is talking about a spiritual knowledge and like that. But that's where they will start reading. If the Prabhupada says, if they read even one page, their life will change. So this is how, and devotees, we are always there, to help each other like that. Bhakti yoga is the only yoga where you all walk together. Right? We don't envy others. If somebody is doing good, we say, "Oh, he's very good. He's doing good. I should take his help to improve myself." So that's how it is.
Very wonderful. So I'm really very keen to know, like, how do you quote the shastras? Whenever you speak, you quote with all the shlokas, right? So how is it possible, Prabhu?
See, whenever I read a book, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or any other book, like I'm reading this book called Sri Prabhupada Lilamrut, right? This is the book I'm reading right now. This is the additional this thing. Whenever I come across any slok, or when any slok comes to my mind, there and there I write it down in the margin, there and there, even if I know the slok. If I cannot see you here, but I can show you here. See, here is the margin I have written the slok. Right? When I read this, all right, I already know the slok. Still I write it down. Why? To write it in my mind. That's how the slokas came out fluently. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvina nirmalam. Rushikena rushikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Why? Because I've written this 10, 15 times. Like that. So this is how you make your one slok your own slok. All right? Write it down, remember it, and speak it so many times like that. That's how you can harmonize the power of the slok like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for that. So whenever we read, we have to now note it down so that we can
Yes.
remember. So that is very good for us. Yeah, so I will try to implement that. And also, what are the services you do in the temple, Prabhu? Now you will be having temple over there, right?
There is one temple for last 2-3 years, but I started preaching in 1999. All right. In 1999, there was one Sanatan temple here in Las Vegas. It's in Summerlin area. It's called Hindu Temple of Las Vegas. It's also along with the Jainas. There are so many doctors donated money worth $2 million, this temple like that. They erected that temple. So the chairman, she's called Dr. Renu Gupta. She called me the other day. Somehow she came to know that I was doing satsang. I'm talking about 1999, 2000 there. She called me and says, "Why don't you give some classes here at our temple?" I said, "Oh, thank you very much." So since then, we started doing every Sunday. They had given me a slot of 2 hours, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. like that, every evening, every Sunday evening. So we did that till COVID. Right? After COVID, we started doing it on Zoom. Even today morning, I gave a class like that. So that's how we continue. Whoever wants to join, we join and discuss Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and very informal, very interactive. Not that, nobody can speak like that. No, solve all your doubts there and there. All right. And be clear about every fundamental, 100% clear. If you don't know, say that I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But this is what Prabhupada has said, this is what the Acharya says. All right? This is how the great devotees say. That's what is your opinion. You don't concoct anything of your own mind and propagate your, that's garbage. That's what we don't want to do. So be always in parampara. That's how we do like that. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, and also, when you are doing services, you'll come across various devotees also, right?
Right.
There are some misunderstandings with the devotees while doing the services. So, how do you see that, Prabhu? So, how can they resolve on that? Have you also come across like that?
Right. Conflicts are there everywhere. Even in your own family, there is conflict. All right. Why? Because we are living in the world of duality. All right. Here, everything is opposite here. The conflict is called dvesha. Here, there is a raga, there is a dvesha. There is a day, there is a night. There is a mother, there is a father, like that. All right. Without this, doesn't happen. So, in our family also, many a time we have arguments with your son, with your wife, with your brother, everybody. But we are within one small group. So we don't want all this to go in the newspaper that Prahlada did this and that, like that. No, we solve it amicably. Yudhishthir Maharaj, eh? He was in the jungle and this Duryodhan was caught by these Gandharvas. Eh? And Yudhishthira Maharaj says to Arjun and Bhim, go and rescue him. Bolo. Who can do that? Eh? See, this is our internal matter, he says. That's why it's called Ajat Satru. Eh? Similarly, we are in the whole family of ISKCON. If we have conflict, okay, you express it, but solve it amicably. Amicably means friendly way, brotherly way. Not, that I'll take you to court of law and then, I'll see you. Not that way. Like that. So that's the way to do that, like that. So we should do that.
Yes. So whatever is there, we means like we should not uh, have any misunderstanding, and at the end of the day we are doing the service only for Krishna. In that attitude we have to keep on going. So that's how I understand, Prabhu. And also I just want to hear from you what will be your messages for the youths of today, because in those days, even maybe in my period also, when I was like when we were in childhood, we didn't have this many gadgets and all, right? So but now there are so many gadgets, technology has raised so much, and there is a advantage, there is a disadvantage also. So how will you advise the youths to use that in a good way, and how they can come into Krishna consciousness? Because we see there are parents who are very good in Krishna consciousness, but their children are not there. It means either of the way also we see. So what is your reflection on this, Prabhu?
I'll tell you my own experience, right? In the sense that when we moved to United States, 95, my children were young, studying in school and like that, all right? And I was very careful to observe what their Sangha is, what is their association with like that. Of course, I cannot monitor what is happening at school or other things, but by interacting them at home, I could discern that what they are thinking. All right. So I'll correct there and there. All right. I'll correct them there and there that this is our routine. We have to follow this. No meat eating. All right. No exiting. No alcohol. No drugs. Nothing. All right. And I tell them very strictly that don't associate with any of this. Today they are adults, but they don't take any intoxicant. Right? No other kind of association. Right? My son was invited here to a big meeting by big executives by this what do they call it? It's a big company, fast food company. They are trying to hold some. So he was invited there. They were all drinking beer and meeting it and all that. He said, "No, sir, I don't eat any of those things. I'll just take plain sodas like that." So they have been trained. And this is the responsibility of parents. All right. You do your Krishna consciousness, but be also vigilant. All right. and your children don't want to go to hell for, drinking all these kind of things and doing all these other nonsenses. From the first time they are understanding, I made these 4 rules, that in your future life, if you have these questions about illicit sex, about intoxication, about meat eating, gambling, all this, you don't have to look for an answer. The answer is already there, no. All right? All these 27 years we are in a casino, in Las Vegas. We never put even 1 cent in a slot machine. Never gone to anywhere casinos. All the guests who they come, they take my car and visit, they come back. We don't go those places. So discipline, right? Discipline your children, right? You do your Krishna consciousness, but your responsibility is to raise. Then only patir nasad, pita nasad, janini nasad. Namochiyad anupet mrutyum. Srusabdev Maharaj says in 5th canto, 5th chapter. You have no right to become father, mother, husband, wife, even guru, if you do not save them from repeated birth and death. Right? You have to train them, discipline them. That's your responsibility. Otherwise, you are not a real father. Who is a real father? Prabhupada Maharaj, who has disciplined us, even through his books, like that. So this is why for the youth, they should also be very intelligent. That if I drink alcohol, I am putting a knife in my liver. 1 drop of alcohol will kill 1 cell of your liver. Why you want to kill your liver cell? To make them understand all these things, those who are your youth. I've got so many families here whom we do satsang. Their children are following all these things because their parents are induced. So to start with parents first so that they discipline their children. Those who are already in bad habits, you can preach them, you can do this. But just like Prabhupada was a touchstone, he converted hippies into like this. So if you become pure, then you can make a kirat hun andar pulind pulkasa abhir sambhayavana kasa. Prabhupada said, Prabhu Vishnave Nama, Yada Pasraya Sraya. So this is what it is. If you want to influence someone, you have to be pure. Otherwise, what is the use of speaking words which doesn't work anyway? So this is how we can
Yes.
them. Right.
Very, very wonderful, Prabhu. I don't know, each and every word of yours is really inspiring. So, yeah, what do you want to say for Bhakti Sangha? If you want any change in Bhakti Sangha, are you satisfied with Bhakti Sangha, or do you want any changes to happen, or what it is?
No, they are doing excellent job. All right, I'm so pleased, and I don't miss any class. That's where they are doing very good job. Especially bringing these erudite scholars who are giving such nice discourses. Each Prabhu is giving so much insight. All right, Prabhupada Maharaj has given this purpose, but they are taking you deeper into that. So that's very good actually. So Bhakti, that Mataji, Syam Gauri Mataji, yes, she started with this like that. I met her son, Atharva Prabhu, in DeLine, Florida.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah.
next month they are starting. No, this month, 29th July, they are starting Bhakti Vaibhav. So I'm going back there for 3 weeks course, on-site course like that. I'll be there too. Very good.
Wow. Very, very wonderful, Prabhu. So thank you so much, Prabhu, once again. So with this, with your permission, we can end the interview session here. And I'm really very thankful and fortunate to have you today on the call and to give us all your realizations about your path in Krishna consciousness and also a few messages to the youth. I hope it will be helpful to our viewers who are watching this video. I once again thank you so much, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatripasya kripa sindhupeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Prahlada Prabhu ji ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare.
Yeah, so
Readiness.